Hi, it's James here from Camping Travel Store, and today I'm going to show you in just a short quick video how to repair the shock cord that holds the poles for the casting tents together, just in case yours is frayed or breaks. It's a very quick, simple procedure in order to get them all back together again. Right, before we start, there's a few pieces of equipment you are going to need. A pair of scissors to tidy up any frayed ends on the shock cord. A pair of mole grips or some pliers that hold themselves in place so we can clamp the cord as we pull it through and put it under some tension, and an old pole, a thin pole that we can use to put inside the existing casting poles to put a bit of force to try and get the washers that hold the ends of the shock cord in place out. So any sort of beam pole or anything like that, or you might have a small metal pole, anything like that will do the job. Okay, so first off we just need to establish whether you have the poles which have the spring clip in, like so, or if it's just the round pole with the square fixing that slides in. If it is the clip, you're just going to need a long nose pair of pliers to push the clip in and pull out. So we now have a clear entry hole to be able to put the rod in order to push the washer out to rethread the pole. Right, okay, so with the spring out, we'll put that to one side because we're going to need that later. You have now got a clear path all the way through the tube to be able to put your metal rod or your beam pole or spare camping pole here, and we just need to give it a bit of a steady tap because we want to loosen off the spike. So we're going to put that to one side as well because that's got to go back on. And with the pole there, you can see now that the washer has come out on the frayed bit of shock cord. So we're going to keep the washer to one side because we're going to need to rethread that. Sometimes you get like a sprung clasp that goes in and the shock cord's tied around it. That might just take a little bit more jiggery pokery to come out than the washer will, but it will come out still and it will go in just the same as you got it out basically. So now that's out. This is the pole we've still got to thread through to make the poles complete because the shock cord came out of this pole too. So we're just going to tidy up the end of the shock cord that we're going to run through the remaining poles. And obviously it's important that you marry up the pole end with the female that fits the male side, which we've got there. And this is where the mole grips come in. So you can extend the shock cord as much as you can and clamp it off with your mole grips or your pliers that hold itself, and that gives us quite a bit of area to play with to thread through the existing poles without having it trying to retract back into the other poles. He says. And put a bit more out. There we go. So the shock cord's now come out this end. So we can release it from the mole grips. We can put that pole together and move it further up. And again, we extend the shock cord under tension, use the mole grips to keep that tension on and thread it through the last pole. Until it comes out the end again. This is where we can then tie off the washer on the end. Now we do a double knot. A single knot is just once round. We do twice round. We like that. It gives a bigger knot. And then that can just be put back in and released with the shock cord into the pole. From there, the spring can go back in the end. Your spring clip for the lugs, which is great. and the spike needs to go back in as well and push firmly, and everything can go back together neatly. So obviously if the brake is in the middle, then you just need to obviously just cut it there and tie it up there. You can always just tie a knot off if you can get it from both ends still, with the washers at both ends. It's the same sort of configuration. Then you can just tie a knot in the middle and that will suffice. That's absolutely fine. There's no need to run a whole new length of shock cord. And yeah, back camping again. So well, hopefully that's helped you. If there's any problems or you've got any queries, just give us a call on the office number. And well, yeah, it's James here from Camping Travel Store, and we hope that helped, and see you soon. Cheers now. Bye bye.